Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Grace Kelly. I'm owner of the Peacock Apothecary in Murfreesboro, and today we are talking about more apothecary herbs. And this is a series on my channel, and if you are interested in learning more about herbs and want to know what their uses are and their benefits, I have several videos. If you like my channel, hit like and subscribe. Comment below if you have questions. If I leave something out that's beneficial, please let me know. I'm always trying to learn more because I don't know everything. But today I am actually going to go into talking about a plant that I just started using this year. I've heard so much about it, and it's been out of stock online for a very long time, and finally it came available and I grabbed it and I've started using it and have seen the benefits. And so I wanted to share this powerful herb with you guys. And if you already know about it and I don't mention some things in the video, please comment below anything that I miss. As I said, I'm always trying to learn more. So without further ado, I want to jump into this, and I want to talk to you guys about this herb called Yarrow or Yarrow. You can see the spelling below, but this is an herb that has been around for a very long time, and it is actually, the botanical name is actually Achille millefolium. Sorry, it's a lot of letters in that one. And if I pronounce that right, please correct me. But it is called Achille millefolium. And the reason why it's called Achille is because it gets its name from, that's right, Achilles. You've probably heard that name before. If you're into Greek history, or if you're a movie buff, you probably have heard the name Achilles. So it got its name from Achilles because it's been said that Achilles, a general in the Greek army, carried this herb with him and used it on his soldiers for when they were injured. And so that kind of takes us into what this plant is good for and some of its benefits, right? So it was said that Achilles actually was bathed in a lake or a river that was filled with these flowers, and he became immortal at that point. So that to me sounds a little bit far-fetched, but you never know. It may be the fountain of youth that we've all been looking for. But so that's where it gets its botanical name, is Achille millefolium. So this flower or plant or herb, if you will, it is, so if it we talked about it being named after Achilles, so it's obviously native to that area over there, the Mediterranean. It's also native to North America, the Northern Hemisphere in Asia, and Europe. And so you can find it in, as I said, North America. So it's sometimes you can actually just be driving along the highway and you will see this plant in rare form along the sides of the highway. And it comes in many different colors. The most popular that you'll see are yellow and white, but it also comes in a variety of pinks and oranges. The one that I see most often is the yellow and the white. And so it's a tall plant. It can grow to be about 5 to 6 feet. It has lacy like white flowers, or yellow, or as I said, the pinks and oranges. And it has almost fern-like leaves. So that's what you would be looking for if you were out foraging. Parts of the plant that are used for us for medicinal purposes and has the benefits are actually really the whole plant, right? So we're not talking about the stalk though, the stem. We're talking about the flowers, we're talking about the leaves, and we're talking about the roots. So they have medicinal benefits. They have, you can drink this as a tea, so you can ingest it, you can use it topically. It has a lot of great benefits. And so some of those key benefits come from the phytonutrients that are found in the flowers and the leaves. And they have anti-inflammatory properties, and they have phytochemicals that include flavonoids, carotenoids, and terpenes. So those are where we are getting our benefits from this particular plant, from the flower, the leaves, and the roots, okay? Not so much the stem, but definitely the flowers and the leaves are mostly what you're going to see, especially if you're buying it as an herb, as a dried herb, that's going to be your flower and your leaves. So yarrow is actually in that the family, it's called the aster family of flowers, or the Asteraceae. Almost sounds like an echinacea, and if I'm pronouncing that wrong, please let me know. You know, these botanical names can be confusing sometimes, much like medicine names. They usually are Latin derivative. But that is part of the aster family. So if someone were to taste, you know, the flower or the plant, they would usually say that it has a bitter, a pungent taste, and is very aromatic. And so if we're looking at what the plant has, what type of element it has, what type of energy, it is a harmonizing energy that it brings. So if you're going to do spell work, if you're adding this in and you're using it for those type of benefits, just keep in mind that it has a harmonizing energy. Let's get into some of the ways that you can use yarrow. So again, we're talking about the flowers, the leaves, and the roots. So what you can do with the flowers and the leaves mostly, and the root, is you're going to be able to make herbal teas. You can steep those and drink those and get the benefits that way. You can make your tinctures. Okay, so that's, you know, putting your preservative, your alcohol, and letting it steep in the alcohol and just dropping it. That's where you get a really good benefit of that. It's more pure, more potent that way. You can also use it in smudges. So if you're wanting to, you know, take the flower, the plant, and get it together and bundle it and let it dry, and you're wanting to go around and smudge your house or your space or yourself or whatever it is that you're wanting to shift the energy, just know that it's going to be bringing a harmonizing energy into that space, okay? You can also use it for poultices, where you take your herbs and you wet them and you put them in like a gauze-like compact poultice, and you put it on something, so you get the benefit that way. You can also use it in salves, which is something that I use yarrow for. So you can also use it for salves. I have an arnica and yarrow root salve here that is really good for bruises, sprains, and wounds. Okay, so you can make a salve. You can also use it for an herbal blend for like a steam, if you wanted to do maybe like a yoni steam or a vaginal steam, or if you wanted to do maybe a facial steam. So it has really good benefits for the skin and for your vaginal areas as well. It's also good for hemorrhoids. So a lot of people will make salves and use it in that respect. That yarrow actually offers, it's an astringent, so it tones in that way as the way an astringent would. It is also a relaxing diaphoretic, so it's good for reducing fevers if you want to do that more of a natural way. For instance, if you know some people can't take Tylenol or ibuprofen, or some people just don't want to for different reasons, and so you can actually take yarrow and you can make it into an herbal tea and you can drink it that way. You can make it into a poultice and put it on your forehead. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do that for the fever reducing properties. Okay, it's also an antiseptic. So if you're taking something, you can put it in you can take a witch hazel. Witch hazel is always good because it has such a long shelf life, whereas water, we know anytime you use water with something, bacteria flows to water, so you would always have to use a preservative. So if you're trying to stay away from preservatives and you want to make you know, like a disinfectant, or you're wanting to make a tincture, or not a tincture, but if you're wanting to make like a spray and you don't want to use water, witch hazel is always a really good alternative. So it's also an antiseptic, so it disinfects. So if you have, you know, again, a wound, or if you have a cut, or if you have something where the skin is broken and you're wanting to keep that area clean and prevent bacteria from getting into it, you can use yarrow and put it in some witch hazel and spray it on that area, and it will help to keep the area clean and disinfect if there is already bacteria in it. Okay, and then another benefit or property that it has is it is a natural diuretic, okay? So if you are trying to clean out your kidneys, trying to clean your system out, if you've got excess fluid on your body, if you've got edema and swelling in your feet and hands and things like that, and you're trying to excrete that and get that off of your body through urination in your kidneys, you can drink Yarrow tea and it will help. You'll notice right away after you drink it that you're going to be using the bathroom, you're going to be voiding, you're going to be urinating, because it naturally helps to take off that water off of your body. Just like dandelion root. Dandelion root also has that property, okay? And it is also an anodyne. So what an anodyne is, it's a pain-killing medicine or herb. So it helps to kill pain. It helps to go into those receptors, those pain receptors, the nerve receptors, and it helps to block the pain. Okay, I don't know how strong and powerful it is, but if you're wanting to be more natural and you're not wanting to use things like Tylenol, ibuprofen, or those stronger medications, such as Lortabs and Percocets, drinking some herbal Yarrow is an alternative, or even having your salve. You can put it topically on. So that is an alternative. The different properties and benefits that Yarrow has. So I'm just going to recap that. And so we're going to go over it. We know it's good for fevers. We know it's good for bleeding. That's another benefit. It will help to stop bleeding. So if you have a wound that is bleeding and you're wanting to put something on it, let's say you're out and about and you don't necessarily have Band-Aids, and you have like a Yarrow salve or something like that, just slap the salve on there and it will help to sort of cauterize the area and stop it from bleeding, okay? It's really good for wounds. As we said, it's an antiseptic and it's a toner, so you can put it on the area to help as an antibacterial. So put it on a wound, spray it on there, put it on there in a salve, and it will help, or even a poultice. Okay, it's really good for infections, and it's good for UTIs. As we said, it's a natural diuretic, so if you're trying to, flush your kidneys, drink the tea, and it's really good for that, and it will help clean out your kidneys and your urinary tract, okay? It's also good for fibroids. So some women that have the fibroids, I would highly recommend making a tea out of it and drinking it and doing it on a regular basis and see if that helps. So it's good for varicose veins as well. So Yarrow is really good for the whole circulatory system as a whole. Okay, and it's also good for hemorrhoids, which I touched on earlier. I do make a salve. It's my Arnica and Yarrow salve, and I do have some customers that use this for their hemorrhoids. So they put it external and internal hemorrhoids, okay? So it's really good for that. It's good for the pain. It's good for shrinking the hemorrhoids, and it's good for cleaning the area and keeping it very, keeping the bacteria away from it, okay? As I said before, also, you can use it as a yoni steam or a vaginal steam, because it is good for bleeding. It's good, again, it's a toner and it's antibacterial. So I have Yarrow in my yoni steam, and I love it. To me, Yarrow actually has like a smell. It almost smells kind of antiseptic. So when you smell it, to me, it smells like medicinal, like clean in that way. Something else that's really interesting about Yarrow is that if you have an open wound and it is bleeding and you're wanting to stop it, if you have Yarrow in a powdered form, and the way that you can get this, you can either buy it in a powdered form, or if you have the dried herb already, you can take it and put it in a grinder and grind it up, and it will come out in a powdery form. It might be a little bit rough, but it'll still be powder. Pour that powder onto that wound, and it will not only help to stop the bleeding, it'll also keep the wound bed clean. It'll also, again, it's an antibacterial, so it's gonna sort of, in a way, sterilize that area in a very natural and holistic way. So As you can see, yarrow is one of those herbs that you really need to have in your apothecary because it has so many benefits. It's good for your circulatory system, it's good for your urinary system, it's good for wounds, it's an antiseptic, it's also good for fever. So it has a lot of uses and a lot of benefits. So I highly recommend yarrow root and yarrow flower and yarrow tea, anything yarrow. Like, I just really recommend it. If you're building your apothecary, this is one of those herbs that you need to have. Yarrow is one of those herbs that you really should have in your apothecary. Again, for all the benefits and the uses, you will definitely get your money's worth. But I hope you like this video. I hope you learned something. Again, if there's anything that I forgot in the comments, please let me know. I would love to learn more about it. And if I mispronounced anything, also please let me know. And yeah, so building your apothecary, yarrow is one of those ones you need. But thank you for watching. Check out my other videos. Like and subscribe if you like my videos, and comment below. Thanks for watching my video, and I hope you have a great day.